The anticipation was palpable when Prince Harry appeared on the Clarkson show. The Duke of Sussex was expected to talk about his memoir, charitable work, and life post-royal duties. As he entered, the audience gave a warm cheer, and Kelly greeted him with her trademark charm. Harry, dressed in a crisp suit and smiling modestly, seemed relaxed. The beginning of the show was lighthearted, touching on his role as a father, his advocacy work, and funny moments with Meghan. However, the tone quickly began to shift as Kelly moved into more sensitive territory. Kelly, known for her friendly yet candid style, brought up Harry's rift with the royal family. "You've been very vocal about your struggles. Do you think airing family matters publicly has helped or hurt your cause?" she asked. Harry responded calmly. "It wasn't about hurting anyone. It was about healing." Kelly nodded, but her follow-up question struck a nerve. "Some people feel like you've capitalized on royal drama. How do you respond to that?" Harry's smile faded slightly, and the atmosphere tightened. "I speak my truth," Harry replied, his voice firmer.
"Oh."
"People can interpret that however they want." Kelly pushed again, "But when your truth involves other people who can't defend themselves on talk shows, does that make it fair?" The audience grew quiet. Harry leaned forward, his tone clipped. "So I should just stay silent while lies are told about me and my wife?" Kelly raised an eyebrow. "I'm just asking what accountability looks like." The tension began to mount. Harry took a deep breath. "Accountability is mutual. You were targeted relentlessly. Silence was destroying us," Kelly responded. "But does that justify exposing private family conversations?" Harry's irritation was now visible. "I didn't expose anything that wasn't already weaponized against us in the press. There's a difference between telling your side and attacking someone." The conversation, once casual, was now intense and emotionally charged. Kelly's expression changed. "I respect you standing up for your family," she said. "But do you think all this publicity contradicts the desire for privacy?" Harry shot back. "Privacy doesn't mean invisibility. It means boundaries. People confuse those," Kelly replied. "Still, book deals, documentaries. It feels like you're in the spotlight more than ever." Harry shook his head. "We control our narrative now. That's the difference. We're not being exploited, we're telling our story." The audience remained quiet, sensing the friction. Trying to pivot, Kelly asked about his relationship with King Charles. "Is there any hope for reconciliation?" Harry sighed. "I love my father. That doesn't mean we agree. Healing takes time and effort on both sides." Kelly added, "But do you think airing grievances publicly helps with healing?" Harry frowned. "Maybe not for everyone, but it did for me. I'm not going to pretend everything's fine just to make others comfortable." His voice had a sharper edge now, and the mood continued to tense. Then came the moment that triggered a serious clash. Kelly said, "You talk about trauma and healing, but many see you as privileged. How do you respond to people who think you're out of touch?"
I responded tersely, "Pain doesn't discriminate."
"Being born into privilege doesn't mean I didn't suffer." Kelly nodded. "True, but it's hard for the average person to relate when the stories come from palaces and multi-million-dollar deals." Harry's jaw clenched. "So I should apologize for being born into a family didn't choose?" Kelly remained composed. "No, but maybe people want humility, not just justification." That comment seemed to strike a chord. Harry leaned forward, his tone clipped. "I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to tell the truth about what we endured. And yes, I've made mistakes, but being honest about them is part of growing." Kelly didn't flinch. "That's fair. But do you think that honesty sometimes feels like blame to others?" Harry looked directly at her, only if they have something to hide. The audience reacted audibly to that comment. Kelly, taken aback, replied, "That's a bold statement." Harry didn't back down. "So is accusing me of exploiting my trauma." There was a pause. "I didn't say that," Kelly responded, calmly, "but I think you're very defensive right now." Harry scoffed slightly. "Wouldn't you be? I'm being questioned on a talk show for surviving something most people couldn't imagine." Kelly's expression hardened. "Everyone has their struggles, Harry. Yours don't make you immune from criticism." At this point, the energy in the studio was palpably uncomfortable. The back and forth had gone from a tense interview to a full verbal sparring match. Harry's demeanor was no longer measured. He was visibly agitated, shifting in his seat, his eyes narrowed. Kelly kept her composure, but her tone was cooler. "I just think if you're going to be a public figure, criticism comes with the territory." Harry replied, "Criticism is one thing. Constant character assassination is another. There's a difference, and I hope you can see it." Kelly replied, "I do. But sometimes when you go on this many shows, it looks like you want it both ways, fame, without criticism." Harry's voice rose slightly. "That's an unfair assessment. You invited me here?" "I didn't crash your set to talk about this," the audience gasped. Kelly responded firmly, "And I welcomed you, hoping for a genuine conversation. But I'm not here to validate every word. That's not what journalism or empathy is." The tension now filled every inch of the studio. Harry sat back, arms crossed as if considering whether to continue. He then said, "I think we're done here." Kelly blinked in surprise. "You want to end the interview?" He nodded. "If this is what it's going to be, just another public trial, Mast." As an interviewee have nothing more to say, Kelly looked toward her producer off camera, who appeared stunned. The audience watched in silence as Harry removed his mic. The crew rushed forward, trying to maintain professionalism, but the moment had clearly imploded. Despite the shock, Kelly handled it with poise. "All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break." But the cameras kept rolling just long enough to catch Harry rising from his seat and heading off stage. Jaw tight, eyes forward. Backstage, reports suggest he was visibly shaken, venting his frustration to staff. "This is exactly what I was talking about," he allegedly said. The audience sat stunned for several minutes after the abrupt walk-off, trying to process what had just happened. Within hours, clips of the clash spread like wildfire online. Hashtags like Harry walks out and Kelly vs. Harry began trending. Social media exploded with reactions. Some accused Kelly of ambushing him with harsh questions. Others claimed Harry proved he couldn't take criticism. Memes, opinion pieces, and fiery debates filled timelines across platforms. The fallout was immediate and intense. Fans and critics on both sides refused to let the moment fade quietly. It had become a cultural flashpoint. The next day, Kelly opened her show by addressing the situation. "I've always believed in honest, respectful conversation. Things got heated yesterday. I regret that Harry felt attacked, and I wish him well." Her statement was measured and professional, but the media frenzy continued. Outlets around the world reported on the drama. UK tabloids ran sensational headlines, while American pundits debated the limits of vulnerability in the public eye. Everyone had an opinion, and few agreed on who was right. Harry, for his part, remained silent for days. Then, through a spokesperson, he released a short statement. "The Duke of Sussex stands by his words and believes in open dialogue, but will not tolerate being used for ratings." The statement only fueled further discussion. Critics accused him of hypocrisy after all. He'd been on numerous media tours. Supporters defended him, saying he had every right to walk away from what they saw as an unfair interrogation. Divide only deepened. Behind the scenes, producers at the Kelly Clarkson show reportedly debated whether to air the full episode. Ultimately, they aired a slightly edited version, softening some of the more combative exchanges. Still, nothing could erase the memory of the walk-off. Industry insiders began speculating whether Harry would stop giving interviews altogether. Others wondered if Kelly's show would be impacted by the controversy. Ratings, ironically, spiked, proving once again that drama sells. The clash marked a turning point in Prince Harry's media presence. While he'd always been candid, this moment revealed just how thin the line was between advocacy and scrutiny. It was a reminder that even those born into privilege can be vulnerable and that public platforms, no matter how friendly, come with risk. For Kelly, the incident reaffirmed the challenges of balancing tough questions with compassion. Talk shows weren't always soft landings. Sometimes even the best intentions unraveled on air. As the weeks passed, both sides moved forward. Harry focused on his charitable projects and continued his mental health advocacy, albeit more cautiously. Kelly returned to hosting with her usual energy, but avoided similar controversies for a while. The confrontation remained a trending topic for weeks, analyzed and dissected from every angle, whether seen as a celebrity clash, a misunderstanding, or a media misfire. It left an indelible mark on both their reputations. In the end, the episode became more than just viral content. It was a reflection of deeper cultural tensions between fame and privacy, vulnerability and strength, public interest and personal boundaries. Prince Harry's decision to walk off and Kelly Clarkson's role in the interview will be remembered not just as a moment of television drama, but as a symbol of the ongoing struggle to tell one's truth in a world eager to twist it.